Good morning, my dear friends, colleagues, and fellow teachers. Have a very pleasant day, right? And all of us are talking about virtual teaching, virtual classroom, which is basically an online teaching learning platform, right? And as teachers, we have no choice but to update ourselves to the compelling demands of the currently emerging educational trends, right? Of course, all of us have started teaching online. Can you tell me what is the one thing which you find it very difficult in this online teaching, digital teaching? We have started doing that for quite some time from the start of this pandemic, and because of this virus we have shifted from our classroom teaching to this online teaching. Can you share what is the one thing which is making you as teachers to handle it very difficult? Students
presence, madam.
Very good.
Monitoring the students, ma'am.
Getting attraction of students, ma'am.
Yeah. So
they keep the mic as well as video off, and we don't know whether they are inside the class or not.
yes, this is the thing universally everyone is facing. See, that old lady is attending an online session, online class, and that boy is asking her grandma, please listen carefully what the teacher says, understand and write. This is really painful, but we have to accept the sad fact. This is what is happening, right? So the one thing which is keeping all the faculty members on their toes is having the students' attention, or the engagement of the students, how to engage the students in a better way. So here we will see the strategies for better students engagement. I will try to give you simple 5 strategies which we can adopt in our teaching. The same thing we can use for regular classroom also. Okay. The talk is planned like this, a small introduction about what is digital transformation and why it is needed for educational sector, the challenges what we are facing, maybe lack of expertise, reluctance to adapt, comfortability, students engagement. In this session, let us focus on the students engagement. Let me take that laser point. So we will be focusing on this students engagement. Let me give you 5 simple things, that is understanding the types of learners, effective lesson planning, activity-based teaching, timely feedback, and gamification. We will conclude with a final word, right? Now, before going into that digital transformation, L.C. Megginson has stated in the Lessons from Europe for Americans in the year 1963, he has given the statement in his work as according to Darwin's Origin of Species, it is not the most intellectual of the species that survives, and it is not the strongest one that survives, but the species that survives is the one that is able to adapt and adjust to the changing environment in which it finds itself, right? So we need to adapt ourselves to the changing scenario for our survival, okay? And what is digital transformation? Digital transformation is something to remake a process more efficient or effective. It is not that just to replicate it in a digital form, like the one what we have written in the ledger. Long back we used ledgers to enter the data. All those things now we are making digital. Our photographs, we have taken n number of photographs. Those things we are converting it into digital form now. See, that is not digital transformation, but it is the transformation that makes a service into significantly better one. This is for any process, not only for teaching learning process. particularly if you see in the teaching learning process, this online teaching should not be just a substitute for the regular classroom teaching. It should enhance the feeling of better teaching and having a nice understanding. So the digital transformation should enhance the effectiveness of the process. So the online teaching should be enhanced from the regular classroom teaching. That is what is digital transformation. And in the educational sector, the digital transformation is not very new. This is happening for quite long time. If now we are doing Coursera courses, when you are browsing, you might have seen a course, or that is a specialization course on virtual teacher. It has 4 independent courses plus 1 capstone project. So this is the specialization subject on Coursera. Okay, this focuses on the virtual teacher, right? In USA, they have something called virtual schools, right, where they focus on, they try to facilitate the students who are in need of learning from home, like the dropouts, or the one who are very good at some other activities, like a elite athlete or a performer, take cine actor, who cannot go to the class regularly and attend the sessions, like the pregnant students, and those students who are homebound because of some disabilities, or some illness, or fracture, something like that. So when they are not able to go to the regular schools, they can learn from home. This is happening for quite a long time. Okay, and recently, just before this pandemic and lockdown, one of my friend, he has come from United States with his family for a small vacation. But unfortunately, so many things are happening. He is not able to go back to his place, and their classes are started. So now he has admitted his daughter in a virtual school. The classes are going to start soon. So like that, it is not very new, but it is now becoming necessary for our survival, right? And the digital technology requires, or the educators should adapt to the situation, and they have to adopt to the various digital things, whatever is available, sources or resources available. And we have facing a stunted growth in the digital transformation in educational system. There is a prevented growth, or we can say slowed down growth and progress. That is because we are all used to doing things in a particular way, and we are reluctant to step outside the comfort zone. Because of this, the growth is not as expected in the educational sector. It is not only for digital transformation. Any new technology or any new culture, any mindset, when we are adapting to that, definitely we will be having a fear of failure, okay, whether we can do that or not. And we seem to be reluctant to acquire new skill sets or processes, right? And but it is very, very important to understand the benefits of digital transformation in education. And this is not only for this pandemic period or lockdown period. Even once we are resuming to our regular lifestyle, we need to use this digital technologies in our teaching learning process to enhance the teaching efficiency, right? And so it becomes very essential to prioritize this. And now students are changing. We are witnessing it, okay? And industry expectations are changing. they are giving a big list of requirements from the students. The technology is changing. We are experiencing it. Of course, the education system itself is changing with the new education policy implemented now. And in particular, as teachers, we are part of this changing educational scenario. I can say we are in the changing phase, that transformation phase. What are we going to do? Right? So, first and foremost, we have to understand and accept that there is a digital skills gap. And we have to drive ourselves forward, inculcating a culture of continuous learning to enhance our skills and talents. We have to educate and upskill ourselves so that we can thrive and succeed professionally. And we have to push ourselves because no one else will come and do that for us, right? So we have to take it further. We have to have some internal force that should drive us to upskill ourselves so that we can succeed in our profession. We are going to be teachers, all are experienced. We cannot go to any other job after this. So we have to continue as a teacher. So it is mandatory that continuous learning and upskilling ourselves are very, very important. Okay. And basically, teaching learning should be interactive, collaborative, and it should open up more possibilities. And of course, students now expect personalized learning. That is required. Okay, they demand personalized learning. They need that also. For meeting this requirement, it becomes essential to use the digital technologies in the educational ecosystem. And as said, this is not only for this current pandemic period, it is for our entire future. It is essential to use or to adopt the digital technologies in our educational ecosystem, right? So say we have understood that education needs digital transformation, digital technologies we have to use, right? We all have understood and we have changed to digital world also. Now, when handling the sessions digitally, what are the difficulties we are facing? As a teacher, when we are teaching online, digitally, what are the difficulties we are facing? Are the challenges that we face in the online teaching? Can you add 1 or 2 points here? The challenges, what you are facing?
Handling the problematic subjects.
Problem-oriented subjects, right?
Subjects.
Okay.
Because
Mathematics.
we cannot write everything clearly on the screen.
Yes, yes. Programming or mathematics, all those things, right? That needs some more technology, right? So if we see, if we consolidate, all of you having so many things in your mind, okay? So if it is a face-to-face session, we can ask everyone, I can see you. But here, let me assume that you all have these things in your mind, right? Challenges are lack of expertise. How proficient we are in digital teaching. See what Sir has expressed. It is difficult to write when we are teaching online, particularly mathematics and programming subjects or drawing something. So we have to explain and they have to learn. Those things we have lagging in our proficiency. With that proficiency, how effectively we are teaching? Are we effective in our teaching? Reluctance to adapt. This is again a challenge. The change is always not a welcome sign for all of us. Okay, some will accept, some may not accept the change. Of course, this comfortability. We are comfortable in classroom teaching than in this online teaching. and we can view the response of the students. As I said now, if this is a regular session, I can see you, the expressions what you are showing, that will give me a clue in what direction I should go. But now blindly what I am having in my mind, I am telling you. Okay, this may be maybe reducing the interest level in the participants, right? And to avoid this plagiarism and copying, we need to set more number of question papers, more number of assignment preparations. All these things that tests our comfortability. The final one is students engagement, less connected with students. Okay, this is there even in the face-to-face teaching. We found it very difficult to get the attention of the students, but at least we can see the responses of the students or the gestures what they are making. With that we can understand, and dynamically we can change our way of teaching and go. At the maximum or the worst case, we can say, okay, let us stop here, we will see the remaining things tomorrow. To that level we can have that feedback from the students' gestures, and we can proceed. But now in this online teaching, we don't even know whether the student is there on the other side or not. Okay, and sometimes or many times the students are entering the classroom, but it will be going and we will be talking to the screen. They will be doing their own work, they will be chatting, or they will be playing online games, and they may even sleep. See, when we are having a session at 10 o'clock, as the students are awakened up to 11:32 or 2 o'clock playing something, morning they are waking up very late, and the counselors or the mentors in the schools and also in college level, we are having that counselors also. Like in schools, in college level also we are having counselors or mentors. They are calling up the students, are you coming and joining the session? So what he will do, sleeping, he will come, he will open, and he will continue his sleep. The picture what I showed. So student engagement is something a very big challenge. All these things we can understand and we can develop. And in this session, let us see what best we can do to get the students engagement. And sometimes the parents are calling us and telling, see madam, you are teaching there, but the boy is playing something. Can you do in this something in this regard? Like that, parents are calling the teachers and asking, right? And why should we talk about this students engagement? Why should we give importance to this students engagement? Why should we bother about this students engagement? Let us teach. Whether they are listening or not, it is their thing, right? But when the students are engaged, that will increase the involvement in doing the academic activity, and we will get the retention time increased. The attention span of the students increases if they are tightly engaged in the session, and they can listen better in the classroom and also in the online session. And it will make the learning environment very convenient for the students. That is why we are focusing on students engagement, right? And in this session, let me give you few strategies. This already I have given in the beginning. This we will see. Okay, when we are talking about this effective lesson planning and activity based teaching, these two things I will cover simultaneously. Along with, I will give you some activities for introduction phase or knowledge building phase or consolidation phases, and timely feedback and gamification. Okay, and